AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe. Yo, did you hear that? That should have made my day. Y'all are both my big brothers, but I look at the brother in the middle, like when he comes in the room, things quiet down. You listen when OG talks. That's what my dad taught me. That's my big brother. This nigga, can you tell the people what you just said offline before we even live? What did you say to me, OG? Just help me with that. Touched my heart. Just
y'all will never get the satisfaction of knowing what I said. Fuck y'all. I might have been wrong. I might have been wrong all along. I'm always wrong. This is insane.
OG,
Fabian, get the show started. No. Let Fabian get the show started with the proper introductions, and then I will sit up here and humbly eat my humble pie and give my apologies. This is a fucking mess.
You the best, bro. You are the fucking best.
Shout out to AllBall.
Shout out to my OG, man. He is the greatest of all time.
Look, he got listen. He's Clark Kent with the glasses.
That did that by itself too. Look,
right. Let's say the Superman curl.
Do you have a drop curl right now?
With the Superman curl, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, look, he said, look, ladies. A lot of niggas can't do that. Ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, comments. OG got a drop curl. I love it. Yo,
listen.
Rodolfo.
Back in my day, y'all know back in my day, which ain't a long list, I ain't that old, but back in my day, you know, some girls liked you because you had good hair. Ladies, know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fabian, let's get the show started because we're already off the rails, man. Ah, God.
I just wanted to shout out the Superman curl, and you combed it back. That wasn't even right, man.
Nah, we need that. Drop curl. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, bro. Chill. Chill, bro.
God.
We live.
Come on, bro.
The fucking biggest, y'all. What up?
Oh, man.
We're gonna get right into it. Y'all know what this is.
Knicks Rehab.
Knicks Rehab, y'all. Monkey Red said, you see the volume of that curl?
You see, y'all ain't gonna be, let me fix it because y'all ain't gonna be laughing at me. All right, there we go. Yeah.
Monkey Red.
Enough is enough. Big Baby Sports.
Big Baby. What up, boy?
Fabian, before you start, this is gonna hurt. The chat, Fabian, Flea, y'all were right, dead right about this whole situation. And once again, is there such thing as 100th again? Because for me, it ain't once. It's 1,000 times I'm wrong. Lord have mercy. Am I dead wrong about my Knicks? Big shout out Flea, big shout out Fabian, big shout out to chat. This situation with the Tom Thibodeau firing, I will sit up here and humbly say I was dead wrong. We are not sexy. I ain't too sexy for the. We are not sexy. Access denied by everybody.
Denied.
I apologize to the chat. I apologize to my brothers. Y'all were all right. I was wrong for the thousandth, however you say that shit, time. Big shout out Darlene Bryant, the beautiful, the lovely, the extravagant. Big shout out Darlene Bryant in the building. Let's speak to the ladies, fellas. But Fabian, the floor is yours. I just wanted to apologize and let y'all know me. I don't mind being wrong, but with this, I thought I was dead right, but I ain't got no legs to stand on. Lord have mercy, do we look like a mess? Damn.
I mean, I don't want to say that, you know, I was wrong because I'm never wrong.
You never say that. Lord have mercy.
I'll be right again, though. Nigga said,
Point.
I'll be
what we
right
said-
again.
What we say, OG? 0.9999.
At 99.9, I'm wrong. But that 0.000, whatever,
What? Yeah.
I'll be right again, Fabian. You believe that.
You will. Michael James, what up?
That sounds like a broken condom.
Yeah, how y'all fun?
OG been there before. He been there before. That's why you laughing, because you know. Oh shit, you been there before.
Hold on, a bit. Oh, you mean what con? Nah, hold on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we back in the
Get it together. Get it together.
I have to
Listen.
fix my collar. I ain't even got no collar. Look, fuck going on. Go ahead.
I got you, OG. I got you. Rodolfo, we got Rodolfo over there crying. Rodolfo.
Yo, man, you know what? Hey, StreamYard reminded me, shout out to y'all on the replay. Because we go live, but we got a lot of views on the replay. She'll get a lot of love from me, a lot of comments, a lot of haters, which is really love all mixed up and confused. See a lot of like ha 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 in the comments. You don't know how to respond. All you gotta do is come home with the fact that you love us big time. Can't stand not looking at us. You just gotta keep coming back. This ain't just Knicks talk, it's us. Big New York. Talking about right now.
It's a fact.
Big borough love. Huh? Let's get right into it, man. Enough is enough with these shenanigans. AllBall already hinted at it. But the New York Knicks, we've come at a crossroads. We're looking for a new head coach, and everything seems up for grabs at this point. Hold up, just lost my my stream, my link. Everything seems up for grabs at this point, including something that I didn't know was on the table, but I love the fact that we're going to talk about it. Rick Brunson is now coming to a head. Shout out to Knicks Recap for keeping us on par with the latest and greatest of the New York Knicks. And he gets into the latest New York Knicks Rick Brunson scenario.
With SNY, Ian Bagley, for helping to break down initially what the plan was for Rick Brunson. According to him, the follow-up question from many media members on Tuesday was about the future of Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson's father, and Thibodeau's lead assistant. I can't see the Knicks forcing any coach to keep Brunson, but I also don't think they would have to force the issue. If you're a new head coach and you want to connect with the face of your franchise, would you want to piss him off by firing his dad? It doesn't strike me as a logical move. So clearly, Ian Bagley is stating here that the Knicks had a plan in place for Rick Brunson once Tom Thibodeau was fired. However, once Tom Thibodeau was fired, reports came out about players being unhappy and frustrated with Jalen Brunson's father, Rick Brunson. Let's go ahead and take a look at those reports. Shout out to NBA Central and Atomiko Hoops, an NBA insider for Hoops Wire, for giving us all of this information here. According to them, multiple Knicks players have been unhappy with the presence of assistant coach Rick Brunson. And here's why. Per Hoops Wire sources, what the issue is exactly has not been determined, though sources suggest that Rick has had too big a say in certain things. One source called Rick the person with the most power in the entire organization. His status is uncertain following Tom Thibodeau's dismissal, though considering he's Jalen's dad, many assume that Rick will remain with the team in some capacity. This is pretty significant. On one hand, he's your superstar's father, and you want to keep him around the team, but definitely not at the cost of the team, especially if they feel a way about him being part of the coaching staff. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe if you take him out of the coaching staff and just have him be part of the team or around the team, not have as much power, not have as much say, and maybe that's what needs to happen in order for the players to not be as unhappy and as frustrated with Rick Brunson and his presence around this team.
Wow. If you want to hear the rest of that, hit the link in the description. We actually added the Knicks recap. Big Troy over there doing big things. All ball. You sent me that link and I'm like, oh, we got to react to that immediately. What was your feeling about hearing Rick Brunson being one of the most powerful figures in the Knicks organization and just maybe there being an issue with letting him go from the sidelines?
I kind of have mixed feelings because, you know, he didn't really say much because you didn't say, you know, what the power that he has, what decisions is he able to make for guys to not like him. I'm pretty sure his son likes him. I doubt Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart don't like him. I doubt OG don't like him. OG got the max. He gets enough play. To me, Fabian, I'm sorry. It all points to one player. Is it Cat? So for me, I don't. What players would have a problem? No, and I'm being serious. I'm not trolling. What players would have a problem with Rick Brunson on the sideline? Like I said, I know it ain't the Villanova boys. It look like OG ain't even thinking about that. The guys on the bench, I know Precious Achiuwa is upset at the whole situation, so I don't think it's just solely at Rick Brunson. So for me, I would like to know if they can expand on that more, hopefully, you know, in the future, as far as what has Rick Brunson done to where people may not like him. Now, I understand, you know, it's tough because, you know, your son is the best player on the team. So, of course, there's going to be perks and there's going to be things. That's life. That's life. If I run something and my son is working for me or vice versa, I'm pretty sure some people are going to look at that a little weird because it's like, you know, you may get dealt a little differently. But it just goes to show, and I got to give y'all, my brothers, props again. We are a mess.
We lost him?
Yeah.
Rick Brunson had enough of all balls tirades. Even though he was going light on them.
They always get him when he gets into his bag and he gets into his groove. His bag. Everybody talking about a bag now. Fucking bummed.
RP, your 199 was not enough. We need to start the all ball internet donation. Let's get that. It
wasn't enough, RP. La Puria.
Let's piss off some of these idiots who don't know how to be gentlemen.
Tory B, what up, baby?
Flea, what's your response to what you heard, the powerful Rick Brunson in at the New York Knicks front office? Or obviously he's in the front office, but on the sidelines, there's being an issue with the Knicks to letting him go and whatnot.
Hey man, it's a shit show. It's a shit show over in the Garden right now. This is amateur night at the fucking Apollo. Amateur night at the fucking Apollo, and James Dolan and Leon Rose are on stage right now, about to get booed the fuck off. They ran over there and touched that tree. They thought they was gonna get a little luck rubbing the tree, rubbing the hump, or whatever the fuck they call that. And they went out there and got on stage and looked like fucking idiots. Looked like fucking bozos. Amateur night at the fucking Apollo with the New York Knicks, man. It don't get no better than this. It don't get no better than this, man. We're talking about Rick Brunson right now at this point. We're having conversations about the control and the power that Rick Brunson has as a coach for the New York Knicks. All of this after having our best season in 25 years. Y'all think about that, man. Think about the conversations that we have. Think about the position that we're in right now. Think about it. Just take a second, y'all, because everybody has the answers. I got them. Fabian has them. OG has them. Everybody in the comments has all the answers we need. But we still in this position right now. We're having conversations about the power of Rick Brunson, y'all. I just think, Fabian, it's ridiculous to answer your question. I think it's flat out ridiculous. I think that we should not be hearing from Rick Brunson. Dante DiVincenzo early in the season looked over and everybody thought he was talking to Tibbs. He was talking to Brunson. He was talking to Daddy Brunson. And he told Daddy Brunson, hey, that's what happens when they let you run shit. So he was clear. Before Dante even got out the door, he was letting it be known like, yo, his voice is loud over there. So now we was wondering, does Othello Harrington speak? Does Mo Cheek speak? Does Mark Bryant speak? Nah, none of them niggas is chatting. It's Tibbs and it's Leon. I mean, and it's Rick Brunson. Amateur night at the Apollo, fellas. I'm telling you right now, that's what it is. Big shout out to Darlene. She grabbed it good. Amateur night at MSG, and that's a fact. That's a fact. This is a joke at this point. We hollering at all these married women, and they are married already with children and a happy marriage. We called Snyder? I know I'm getting off rails, man. I'm sorry, y'all. We called Snyder.
God.
We called for Snyder.
Big shout
OG.
out. Oh, let me do. Big shout out Tori B, the beautiful, the lovely. Tori B, what's going on? The sexy Tori B. Y'all already know, man. Shout out to the AllBall TV ladies in the building.
OG.
Yeah.
We called for Finch. Udoka. Kid. Snyder.
I'm gonna be real. Snyder, the Green Goblin, is crazy.
That's crazy. So that's what I meant about the plan being in place, right? Everybody was talking about, who the fuck are you, Flea? Why did they have to present a plan to you? I'm nobody, respectfully. I am nobody.
No.
I'm just a dogged Knicks fan that loves my Knicks and was hoping and praying that we had a plan in place. It looks bad right now. It looks bad. Go ahead, OG.
Now,
Go ahead, OG.
Now, just real quick, I'm sorry I had a little emergency Pop Dukes call. But going back to, Rick Brunson, I kind of understand, but I don't. Like I said, does Jalen Brunson get extra treatment? I think every superstar, star, or the best player of the team gets extra treatment. I think that's been going on before we was even born. I'm pretty sure Will Chamberlain, God rest his soul, Bill Russell, them guys got special treat, and it goes on and on and on. But for me, I just want to hear, what does Rick Brunson do? How does he use his power to where people doesn't like him? Maybe he walks around with an attitude, he's smart. I want to know what's going on, because now I'm starting to think that these things are just being thrown out there. Flea, what you've been saying, you've been dead on as far as having a plan. It's very hard to fathom that these guys with all this money, all these smarts, all these degrees, and been doing what they've been doing as far as these jobs forever, and they don't have a plan. This is insane. I don't know what the hell is going on, but Darlene is correct, man. It's a circus. It's a circus. But I'm gonna be honest. For me, it's kind of early, and I said this the other night rather. It's kind of early. Like I said, if this was September, maybe the end of August, I would definitely be panicking. But this it doesn't look good. If you want me to be honest, it doesn't look good for us as Knicks fans, because every day we're hearing who's going to be the coach, what moves we going to make. So how does the players feel about that? Are they on edge? What's really going on? So this is not good when we just coming off of getting out of Eastern Conference Finals, where we made another step of progress and now we want to start thinking about getting to the finals and hopefully winning the finals. This is not how you start. So I'm just hoping what Fabian always says, La Costa Nostra, Leon Rose and them guys, I'm hoping this is a Jedi mind trick because it doesn't look good. And me right now today being a Knicks fan, I don't mind being wrong. But with this one so far, I look like an idiot. An idiot because we are just getting denied coach after coach after coach. And it looks embarrassing because we're the New York Knicks and a lot of jobs teams clamor for. And I thought, that teams were clamoring for us. I thought we have the sexiest job in the NBA. And right now I'm looking wrong. But I still think we have enough time to correct this, to steer the ship right. Like I said, it's early. The finals are still going on. It's sad that the Knicks have taken over the NBA finals as far as promotion. It's insane. Nobody even cares and talks about the Pacers OKC series. So that's kind of sad, but it just goes to show you that how relevant we are. But to not right now look like we had dead headlights when we supposed to be, the Mecca, one of the best franchises in sports history, and to do this, I'm wondering now, and I'll let Fabian go or Fabian cook. I'm wondering, and Lord have mercy, what I'm about to say. Did we make a mistake firing Tom Thibodeau? Flea, no,
I'm being serious. I'm not even trying to be.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I'm saying now.
Fabian, watch this. Fabian, watch this nigga, man. Listen, look there.
No, I'm gonna let Fabian go.
I'm watching you. What the hell is these guys? They scared, but I'm not. They scared, but I'm not.
Hold on. Well, you know what? Today I'm scared, motherfucker. I'm scared.
I love him. It's that one nigga. Today I'm scared. Shut up.
I'm scared today.
Today I'm scared.
Can I get one day to be scared?
I feel you, OG. Tell that nigga. Today I'm scared, nigga. I'm concerned.
I'm gonna tell you how ill he is. He says they scared, but I'm not. But he's a self-proclaimed panicker. Like, you guys don't understand real New York slick talk. That's why you here. Flee.
Yo, OG, I said at the beginning of the show, OG is the illest, y'all. If y'all ain't been paying attention, he is the illest. But nah, yo. Today I'm scared and y'all not. That's funny, man. Nah, man, it's just I don't think we made a mistake. The mistake comes in is not being prepared after you make that decision. Right? I think everybody agrees at this point now that it was time for Tips to go. It was time to turn the page. It was time to get a new voice in there. It was time to get some innovative minds in there. It's time to get somebody in there that's going to trust their bench. All of that kind of stuff. So I'm not about to go back and forth and argue about Tibbs anymore. We made a decision. Cool. Let's go forward. It ain't a mistake. But the mistake comes in is when you don't have anything into, like, for me, if I know that I just come out the Eastern Conference Finals after not making an appearance in over 20 years, and I know that I'm going to get rid of my coach, at least if I was in that position, I would know who I'm going to hire immediately. Like, it wouldn't be some kind of thing where I got to go and cast a wide net and I got to interview with 10 different coaches and shit. We're not in a position where you need to know what you're going to do to replace him. And let's keep this ship going. Let's start going like this. You implement what you got to implement, and we go from there. You saying we got a lot of time, OG? The finals will be over in another week. By the end of this month, the draft will be here. By this time next month, free agency is gonna be knocking at the door. So I feel you. Yeah, it ain't September, it ain't August. We got time. But I would like for us to make a decision before the draft comes. I would like for us to make a decision before free agency hits, so that now we know who we have in place going forward as our coach. And now we make the decision, as Fabian is always alluding to. You get the coach in place. Now you get the guys that is for that coach. You start building your roster that is going to benefit off of the coaching style. And right now, we just shooting at what I said the other day, throwing things at the wall to see if it sticks. Everybody was so keen on get the fuck rid of Tibbs. Get Tibbs out of here. Get Tibbs out of here. Because in my opinion, I think a lot of people felt like you, OG, which is not wrong, but a lot of people felt like you. A lot of people had the huge head. Pause. A lot of people were walking around thinking that we the nice shiny toy and niggas is gonna jump out the window to come fuck with us. No. No. Let's get our head out the sky, our head out our ass, and understand. Yo, we still the Knicks. We still got a lot to prove. And this is a high pressure situation you're walking into right now. We talking about everybody's like cool, calm about, yeah, we bring in Johnny Bryant. Bring in Johnny Bryant. This is a tough place to play, tough place to coach. So it's all good till we get here. It's all good till the draft comes and we still don't got no coach. It's all good. Free agency comes and we shooting in the dark. So y'all made fun of me. It's cool. We over that. We past that. But what are we going to do now? Because we look very, very unprepared, is all I'm saying.
Well, right now, I'm still going to make fun of you. You were dead wrong. You were dead wrong at the end of whatever you, during your soliloquy.
What I'm wrong about?
The Knicks are just, we've never been in this position before. Don't know how many teams have actually been in this position before. You have every right to be scared, if that's a term, and panic AllBall. And this all centering around Rick Brunson and just the way it's being reported that it's a thing for him to get let go. People might laugh at the fact that you guys have a problem with firing Jalen Brunson's father off the bench. Like, what's wrong with y'all? As much of a punchline that we could make Rick Brunson's career, if you want to do that, any one of us here in the comments would love to trade positions with Rick Brunson as a father. Let's start there. He was sitting there at the 99 finals run with Marcus Camby and them. He got a picture with Jalen Brunson and Marcus Camby during the 99 run when we went to the finals. He's on the Knicks since then. He was able to jump around, be a journeyman basically in the league, play for Portland. I remember him for Portland, the Celtics. And then eventually gets, he's raising his son at the same time, Jalen, obviously. And now he got his son drafted. Second round draft pick. On top of that, he helps build a regime with the Knicks that makes us relevant for the first time, circling back around to 99. That was the last time we were this relevant for this long. And to not understand the position that Rick Brunson is in, or the Knicks are in with Rick Brunson, and why it is that sensitive, it's a powerful position the Knicks are in, with James Dolan beefing with the commissioner, the NBA, suing them, saying the NBA commissioner is in a conflict of interest with the Raptors because that's his homeboy over there running everything. And at the same time, being the second most valuable franchise in the NBA, and we ain't win a damn thing yet. We have every East Coast city on smash. I don't care what city you go to. We got fans that take over the building. And we're on the doorstep of a championship. All of us say the same thing. What do you think is going to happen if the Knicks win a championship? New York might explode. We're on the doorstep, but not just being the most powerful team in the NBA, may be the most powerful team in American sports. So Rick Brunson's position, people might laugh at it, but even as small as a position as being the associate coach or assistant coach, we need to be careful with this because he did help build that. That's his son that he brought here. Yeah, it's nepotism. Yeah, it was collusion. Big business, big dog. That's what this is about. He helped make this thing happen. He has his DNA literally all over this thing. Big pause. But I got to commend him. Just, we talk about LeVar Ball and every other father that happened. This is an amazing story. LeBron bringing his father to the NBA. We don't talk enough about what this is. You got your son to be the star at Madison Square Garden. So going forward, though, if we're being real, now is the time to make big decisions. You can't be on that sideline. When we talk about the next head coach I don't care who it is. All this is funny business. We'll get to that in a second about being denied the coach and all that. And you ain't telling me for 2 seconds that a team can deny you and we ain't talking to them. We just got Jalen Brunson the same way. Mark Cuban and them got a draft pick or got us fined and snitched on us because they were saying we were colluding with Jalen Brunson. What makes you think we won't do that with another coach? But I digress. I think you need to go for, take these next steps forward very delicately, obviously, because everything I just explained, him being a major figure in this organization right now that took another step up. And every organization in business, when you have a guy like that who's responsible for so much of the building process, but then you go look around and say, yo, there's one more step we got to take to make it to the mountaintop. We might not need your face up there anymore, bro. James Dolan, the owner, took a step back. What the hell makes you think you can't take a step back, Rick? Yo, we got a spot for you cozy in the suite. Those associate coach seats, the head coaching seats are very pivotal. Tom Thibodeau, I commend him. New York Knicks coaching legend at this point. Regardless of what we think, that is what he now is. Those win columns, that win column is big time for him. But the next step, it has to be done the right way. And we have to have that seat open for the right coach that is possibly the next head coach. We can't have assistant coaches on there that don't want to be a head coach. You got to want to be a head coach. All these guys have head coaches sitting next to them. Rick Brunson is not that. We haven't heard any other team want Rick Brunson as a head coach. Othello Harrington. Mo Cheeks has been one, and they clown him still. I see a couple of players clowning him. So I have to send a lot of love first to Rick Brunson because everybody's forgetting what this is. Before you start clowning him, before you even try to clown the Knicks, Braun ain't do this. Braun ain't do this. Michael Jordan ain't do this. Ain't nobody do this. So let's not forget that's why you feeling this scared, AllBall. The Knicks are on the verge of being the most powerful team in sports, in my opinion, in American sports, definitely. And this is why tension's in the air and why every moment we're hanging on to for dear life.
I mean, kind of broke that down. Is it eloquently, beautifully? I mean, no.
He just talking. He ain't said shit. He just talking.
You made some great points, and what I do agree with is Rick Brunson. The job he has done with his son isn't talked about enough. We highlight LeVar Ball. Now we're highlighting Halliburton's pops, John Morant's pops. Which I love. Like I said, fathers aren't highlighted enough. Everybody shows respect to the mamas. Big shout out to all the beautiful mamas. But LeBron with his son. But what Rick Brunson has done, like you said, turning his son into a superstar. Understanding, I'm gonna get my son to the Knicks and he's gonna be the captain. But at the same time, you also have to do what's right for the team. And I agree. He shouldn't be on the sideline anymore. But he should still have a job with the Knicks organization. Simple and plain. I don't see nothing wrong with sitting up in that skybox, making $250,000 a year just because your son is on the team. I don't see nothing wrong with that. This coaching thing is getting scary. But I agree. We need coaches. You said I don't know if I heard anybody say that yet. Maybe Flea, man, but what you just said, I could 100% agree. We need assistant coaches.
Yep.
Right. We need assistant coaches that want to be head coaches.
Absolutely.
We need smart guys. We need guys that can adapt. We need guys that have connections. We need guys that are cool. We need guys that look cool, that sound cool, that act cool. We can laugh all we want. But when you look on the sideline today, with all of the sports, even baseball, football, basketball, they're younger, they fit, they look like it. Look at college. You have the coaches interacting with the players, listening to the music they listening to, learning the dances, the TikTok. So for me, I want all of that because that's what the league is today. And to me, there's some guys out there. So what you said is 100% correct. We need some smart guys on that bench. Not saying Rick Brunson isn't smart. He's very smart. But I'm saying we know what the deal is with that. That definitely can stir something up. Sit up in that skybox with the big dogs and just make sure your son stays here. But I agree. We need a good coach, but we also need a great coaching staff. And later on today, I definitely have my coach I have in mind with the 3-4 assistant coaches. But I totally agree with everything you said. I have no pushback on anything you said at all.
I think Flea does. Hater.
Truth teller. Truth teller.
You were too ready for that, man.
Nah, man. Yeah, I mean, big shout out to Rick Brunson, first of all, right? If that's the angle that we're talking about right now in terms of, you know, him putting his son in the position to do that, right? We got a lot of I saw a conversation about basketball right now not being a poor kid's game anymore. It's a rich kid's game.
I seen that.
Yeah, I think there was.
No, hold on. I'm sorry, Flea. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go.
Now that the ball players are leaving the league, Braun and Draymond, now they want to say this. We've been talking about that on AllBall Live Instagram for years.
And not being a trend.
Years.
Yep.
These are all these guys are all from the suburbs. They're not getting the kids from the same spot anymore. And I'm just like, and I don't like. To me, it's kind of predatory watching them junior high school kids, so I don't like it. But once you gain some steam in high school, we start hearing your name. It's been natural for us to pay attention to these superstar high school kids. That's just the rite of passage in New York City for basketball. But the way that they've been saying that and what you're saying, going back, I gotta pass it back to you. For Rick Brunson to have done that already, he's showing you how to do it. Jalen Brunson grew up rich. How come he plays like he's poor? You know what I'm saying?
It's the hunger, for sure. And that's all about the player, right? That's all about the player. And I think that goes along with what we've been saying. Like we could bring in a new voice, and we're gonna have to, right? At some point, somebody's gonna take the job. But I think a lot of the change that has to go on with our team is the players, like them committing and being better to their character defects as basketball players, right? If you know your character defect as a hooper is, I struggle on the defensive end. I struggle staying in front of guys. Whatever that is, you get into the summer and you work and you get back and, you try to be better than what you was. You already know that your ball handling skills is up to par. You already know that you can shoot the mid. You already know you're a 3-level scorer. You already know that you could go get 30, right? You already know that you worked in your post game for years, your footwork, your ball. All of that stuff that Jalen Brunson has as a smaller guard is elite. But if there's a spot that he's struggling with, it's being a decent defender collectively for a whole series, for a 10-game stretch, right? If we get that from him, it's lights out. It's like, whoa, okay. Like, we cooking with gas, right? So I think everybody should think like that on the roster right now. If you here or if you don't know you here, like you should be thinking about how can I be better? Because we was right there. How can I be better? And the two guys, our two best players, have to be thinking like that. They got to be thinking like that. And aside from maybe wanting Daddy Brunson to get off the bench, because there's no telling if we get a new coach in there that he's gonna say, hey, I want you to be a part of my coaching staff. There's no guarantee that happens. But if he is that voice over there that was the only one that was holding guys accountable, we need that around still. We need that around. I don't know that to be true or not, but he looks like a guy that's going to hold guys accountable. We all saw that clip when Brunson is about 12, 13 years old and he's tired and he's going through the same drills and you hear his father, getting on him a little bit about, let's get to it. I'm paraphrasing, but, he has that. He comes off with that kind of cachet, with that type of moxie. He's already coached, right? Like is Rick Brunson an option for us for head coach? Let me ask y'all
that. It's for me, it's tough because his son is the best player on the team. I don't know how that works. But when you really think about it, I tell you all the time, think before you just, right? And that's what I'm doing now. And it's not insane, right? But it just wouldn't look right. I'm just being honest with you. It just wouldn't look right.
I wouldn't want it personally, but
no, right. I wouldn't want it either. But I'm saying, for me, the idea isn't bad, but it just wouldn't look right. It almost looked like it was planned. Like
optics is crazy.
It looks diabolical, right? It's like a superhero. Like it just looks nuts. So for me, if Brunson wasn't there, then maybe. But Brunson being there, to me, it just doesn't look right. So for me, no.
I mean, I just gotta say hell no. And that's as simple as we always ask some of these questions where we're like, well, how come Dolan ain't asked that? How come Leon ain't asking that? If Leon Rose hasn't asked the players yet, yo, how about Rick? Either he knows not to ask the question, don't ask a question you don't want the answer to, or the players by now would have been said, yo, Rick Brunson's a perfect option as an assistant coach. We've seen plenty of players done throughout NBA history say, yo, we're fine. Like, that's the assistant. They happened with Doug Christie when they fired him on the spot. I mean, he was replaced and they were commenting on him being a replacement, but I haven't heard anything about Rick Brunson being a head coach ever in the NBA, let alone the Knicks. I haven't heard a player endorse him. We saw Dante DiVincenzo going at him on the sideline, like you alluded to earlier, Lee. That's a bad idea. It's hard enough getting you to go to the skybox right now. You're gonna move up closer to the court.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna give him carte blanche to the court, Flea? Nah.
Tough.
He's a bit of a hothead. If he was sitting with us,
you kind of need that.
We
don't need him coaching, but the next coach that comes in here, I want him to have some of that shit. Like when Joe Mazzulla got to get busy, he gets busy. When Udoka has to get busy, he gets busy. Yeah, y'all know what I mean by get busy, right? Like when he got to be like, yo, it's time. Them guys could do that. Just the next guy that comes in, I need him to have that.
And that's why Pinnacle Lutz says, just hire Johnny B and get this over with. Because the fact that we're even discussing Rick Brunson as a head coach is bananas right now. Like, I'm being nice. I'm in a great peaceful mood right now.
I don't want him, but that's a move.
No, you creating content, baby Bubba. I'm with you. We eye to eye right now. But the fact that it's the subject means we are hitting crazy peaks in the curiosity of who the hell is going to be the Knicks' next head coach.
But Fabian, this is where I didn't want to be. Yes, you understand now? This is where I didn't want to be. We can fire the coach, fine with that. But I didn't want to be in this situation where we're not even going to talk about Knicks basketball for another 4 to 5 months. Because all it's going to be surrounded around is what coach we getting and is he good enough to take us to the next level? Because we already know we're an Eastern Conference Finals type team. But are we a championship team now with whoever walks through the door?
I'm going to suggest y'all scared mother lovers in the building, AllBall, Flea, the commenters.
Call me what you want.
Go watch The Dark Knight Rises, and cut the movie off before it ends. Don't let them kill Bane like that. Listen to all them quotables. What he say? I was born in the darkness. You nearly adopted it. Your man was going bananas. I'm going to go watch that tonight. It's dark, baby. This is what we asked for. Listen.
It's what you asked for.
It's for the top, man. We didn't want Tibbs here anymore. He is not going to get us there. That's
this is what you had. Yes, agree. Yes.
This is what we want. No, this is what they really wanted, and they were really in denial of.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick Brunson may have been in the way of that. Who knows? But I ain't scared. Enough is enough. I'm not fooled by the 3-card Monty maneuvers. I see you. What happened, Flea?
No, I was. You could placate to whoever you got to placate to. That's fine. I'll let you do it uninterrupted. Uninterrupted. I will let you do what you got to do, baby. Do what you got to do. But
first of all, hold on. Don't you placate? Watch your mouth. I don't know what that means.
Look it up. Since you said I don't know what synopsis means. Look it up.
you fail to understand what synopsis means. Big difference.
Okay, so help me. Let's see if I use placate the right way.
Placate sounds like something in your blood.
That's plaque, or that's on your teeth. What I don't know.
The- Moving right along. There's a lot. Just we said we're hitting the pinnacle of all Knicks curiosity of coaching, who the next head coach is. And there's another name that's being thrown out there. A lot of names mentioning him. He's been off the sidelines for quite some time. But now I see him on ESPN. This is 2-3 days in a row. Mr. Stephen A. Smith has mentioned him. Mark Jackson, he's promoting him. But this time, Stephen A. has, some more endorsing words for our guy, Mark.
With all of this said and with what has unfolded, why don't you place a call to Mark Jackson? Why don't you place a call to a guy that coached in Golden State, that set the table for Steve Kerr to capitalize off of and look like the second coming of Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich and these guys? Why don't you call a Mark Jackson, okay, who starred Bishop Lachlan, who starred at St. John's, who's a rookie of the year for the New York Knicks, who proved he could coach on a big-time level in the NBA? How about calling him? Because I can assure you the city of New York will stand up and support and applaud that brother coming home and resurrecting his career as a coach for the New York Knicks. Hell yeah. Mark me that he does.
He said, hell yeah. Shut the hell up, Stephen A. Yo, he's talking the most shit. Hell yeah.
I thought he was gonna say job. I thought he was gonna say job turkey.
And before we move on, Rick Pitino sent out an endorsement. I obviously coached our rookie of the year, Mark Jackson. I believe he spent 18 years in the NBA as a player, great coach with the Warriors, and one of the brightest minds I've coached. Would love to see the Knicks bring Mark Jackson home. It's been in the rumblings. We've been talking about him. AllBall, Stephen A. just compared him to Greg Popovich and Phil Jackson. What's your reaction to Mark Jackson as the next New York Knicks head coach? Or at least to call him.
So I'm going to be honest. Depending on his coaching staff, I would love it. Let me explain why. He's from New York. Legend from New York. High school, college, great NBA career. He understands New York. He understands the Garden. He understands big moments, been in the finals. He knows the game. And he's going to hold your fucking ass accountable. He's coached before. He plays the point guard position. We have a dynamic point guard that can change his game a little bit to get better. Mark Jackson preaches defense. For me, if he can get Van Gundy on the coaching staff with a Rondo, with a Ron Artest, and maybe another vet type assistant coach, I would love it. That's the only way I would love it. If he could get Van Gundy on there with him. But you said something a little while ago. This is what we asked for. The things that we need as a coach, my opinion, Mark Jackson checks all the boxes. He's coached before. He knows the game. Great NBA career. From New York. Played in the Garden. I mean, coached Steph Curry and Clay. He was ahead of everybody with that. Splash Brothers. Greatest backcourt shooting ever. He said that way prematurely and everybody laughed at him. And he let their ass loose. I mean, we're not going to say he don't know how to coach. He knows how to coach. But for me, whoever we bring in, I think, like I keep harping on it, we need a great coaching staff. I'm very big on that. But I would love the idea of Mark Jackson being the next head coach. Because we have a problem if it's going to be a new head coach. So for me, I'm not Mike Malone, and I don't want none of them guys. Like I said, for me, if it ain't a Udoka, a Kid, a Curl, something like that, a Spo, which we know now that ain't happening. I'm going to be honest. why not give him a call? It don't hurt to call him and see how he feels about it. He may not want to coach. You never know, but I think he deserves a call. Because once again, a person like that, I think that's what this team needs. A lot of our guys isn't held accountable. Like we've been saying up here for how long now? How many times have we seen Cat and Brunson just literally not play defense and be horrific and don't get held accountable? I want a coach that when they're walking to the bench, hold them accountable. You ain't got to disrespect them or embarrass them, but you got to help them understand, bruh. So for me, I don't see no problem with it, especially, and I feel like this has nothing to do with Stephen A. Smith. I have no problem with just reaching out to him and having a conversation with him. But do I think him being a head coach with a good coaching staff would be a bad thing? No, I think it'd be great. Honestly, I think it would be great. Yeah, I'd rather him over the guys that shut. I'd rather him over Mike Malone, over the Atlanta head coach. But you know, for me, I honestly would love it because, like I said, he's from the town, man. He's from the town, and he coached two of the greatest shooters of all time. Yeah, he didn't win the championships, but he helped those guys with their game and defensively. So for me, I would love it. I would love it.
Flea, you've always sprinkled his name out there. You want to know why? We want to know why. And people are acting like they haven't heard the rumors all of a sudden. And we try our best because, you know, with the YouTube and just the way this thing works, we being straight up. Like you say a certain group is certain about, you talk about anybody a certain way, you get strikes on this YouTube thing. But specific groups is sensitive out here, man. So we try our best to just say what we want and say how we feel. But, you know, we got bills to pay, man. And we ain't shutting down our channel for nobody. What do you think about Mark Jackson, the whole situation? Because I know you're very passionate about this. I definitely want everybody to understand, like, however you feel in the comments about Mark Jackson, some of y'all, Flea feels the same way, man.
Yeah, I've gotten quieter over the last recent years because I've gotten into like acceptance mode, right? Of understanding that, this brother is just not gonna get another job. But I would be ecstatic if Mark Jackson got the head coaching job. He's probably at the height of my list. If we just, you ask me if I got a list now or I got a preference, I just don't bring his name up. And Fabian alluded to it just a few minutes ago because I've been talking about this for a very, very long time. In 2020, when they hired Tibbs, I wanted them to look at him. And years before that, there was so many different situations that have happened over the last 11 to 12 years since he's been out of a job that I thought that he would be, perfect for that position, but he just doesn't get it. Real quick, a housekeeping item off of that video we just watched. This is why I consider Stephen A. one of the most disingenuous motherfuckers on TV.
Let's get it.
This is why I think he's so fucking disingenuous because he has sat up there with the guy that fired Mark Jackson. He sat up there with that dude for the last year or two. Bob Myers has been on the set of ESPN for the last 2 years. He is the exact guy that fired Mark Jackson. So my thing is this. You could easily know or not know if Mark got a shot. You could easily be honest with the people of New York City and not sell us some fucking pipe dream because we love Mark. What did OGs just say? What did he just say? Mark is New York. Bishop Laughlin, one of the point guards out of New York City, starred at St. John's, won a Rookie of the Year as a Knick. We drafted him. So if we worried about if you cut his skin, if orange and blue is coming out, it does. Grew up right in Queens, 197, right off of Linden. Like, everybody know Mark Jackson. His brother, Escalade.
Oh, rest in peace, yeah. Escalade, yeah. And one, yeah.
So he's got basketball written all over him. You alluded to the Steph Curry, Klay Thompson thing. I don't want to revisit that. But Mark is qualified to do it. Mark is qualified to do the job. but it's bullshit, y'all. And y'all call me scared, whatever y'all, I take it. But this is, go ahead, Ray.
I don't want to say scared. I really want to talk about the best way possible, what we think it is, what we've heard. I just think
it's bullshit now. The most pressure ever to come into the New York Knicks. Now you want to give Mark the job. Come on, Mark. The toughest spot that we could put you in is to elevate this team to the NBA championship. All right, yeah, now we're gonna give you a shot. Not lay your foundation, not take some time to get some bumps and bruises, because we give him the job now. Ain't no bumps and bruises. New Yorkers gonna love for him to walk through the door, but we are New Yorkers. We're gonna expect instant gratification. We know where we just came from. Are we get yes or no? And because I want to finish what I'm saying. Yes or no? Are we giving Mark a pass if he got the job this year and we get bounced in the first round? We don't make the playoffs. Are we giving him a pass?
I'm cursing him the fuck out like everybody else.
And so that's what I'm saying, right? I don't know if he's the coach that's gonna come in and just take us to the next level, but I would love to have him. I
don't think he will mind that. He's from New York.
But it ain't about minding it. It's about the situation.
I think he would embrace everything that comes along with being a coach. I don't think he's scared. He's a New Yorker. Like, we forget that when he starts talking and when you catch him, like, oh yeah, he's from New York. Like, I'll forget that because he's such a caricature now that, like, he's a great commentator. Him and Jeff Van Gundy are now legends.
Excellent.
Commentating. ESPN don't know what the hell they're doing, right?
Okay.
But I think the baggage from whatever happened in Golden State is, all right, I'll say it. Supposedly the owner was gay and Mark Jackson is mad religious, and he didn't care about, or he wasn't shy about his views. That's what the rumor is, right?
He was taking them to church on Sundays. The team was going to church on Sundays. He was very much wearing his Christianity and his beliefs on his sleeve. And I guess that doesn't mix well with an owner who, lives an alternative lifestyle. I hope that's the way to say it. I don't want to be rude, but he lives the alternative. So,
and if he's voicing the opposite, that's tough. I've seen Kyrie with a chain from a certain country, and the owner of his team is from they're beefing countries. So I've seen this work, and it shows the cachet that Kyrie still got because he's still Kyrie. So we could cast you aside like a Mark Jackson. Ain't no problem doing that, because what do you bring to? We don't need you on the coaching sidelines. It's basically what the NBA is telling him. Or you think you could hold that down? Watch this. Because to be honest, since when has religion been such a bad thing in sports? They love in football. They love that. That in the side, oh my God, they want the coach to be like that, to at least portray that. But I think, again, funny I referenced Kyrie because when he was here, he went through a lot with the Jewish community, and it's a tough thing to deal with. And forget about whether he wants to deal with it. The Knicks might not want to deal with it. And also, we're forgetting that they did offer him a job at MSG before. Mark Jackson loses a MSG job after Knicks banned him from an airplane. Supposedly, we weren't able to work something out this season. MSG spokesperson told the New York Post. Jackson did not return any messages. And MSG pursued Mark Jackson to work with Clyde Frazier, which would have teamed him with Mike Breen. Leon Rose had the final say on whether or not to allow Mark Jackson on the team in a hotel. Leon Rose did not speak to the media. Mark Jackson was expected to call all 5 games of the Knicks' current road trip. So I forgot that he was up for this job. And it was something
he had the Nets job. He was calling games with Iron Eagle at one point.
Yeah, and he also responded to it. It's in here. More than a week ago, I turned the job down due to the fact that it wasn't the ideal conditions and it wasn't the ideal time for me. He said he bleeds orange and blue and didn't close the door on possibly discussing a broadcasting position again. So I'm trying to read through this and see what exactly they fired him for. Rose had the final say. Darren
Rose had the final say. So what year is that?
It's 2023. That's 2 years ago. 1.5 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because that's after he got fired from ESPN, and they were looking for him. That's when Van Gundy got the Clipper job, and he went to go, I guess, interview for the Knicks job.
But think about that though. Think about that though, Fabian. OG. You have a great relationship with Jeff Van Gundy. I'm sure you have great relationships with other coaches, and I'm sure you have a coaching tree, right? I'm sure you have great relationships around the league, right? How the fuck don't you find your way back on somebody's bench? Like, they let you call games, cool. But as soon as Jeff stopped calling games, a year or two later, he's on somebody's sideline as one of the best assistant coaches in the league. Why hasn't he got? That's what's like. Okay, you ain't got to get a head coaching job, but he hasn't even got on the sidelines on somebody's staff.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, and you know, I see Mark might have been on his platform where, you know, he said he definitely wants to coach again. And you know, listen, man, a guy like that, I never met him before, so I can't speculate, but you know, I can guess a guy like that is very prideful, and maybe he don't want to be on the bench as an assistant coach. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he was never asked. But you know, once again, us as Knicks fans, as a Knicks organization, you know, it's always tough decisions to make when you want to win a championship. Whether it's hiring a coach or coaching staff, trading a player, acquiring a player. You know, we can all guess and speculate why he doesn't have a job. You know, we hear things. You know what I mean? Of course, you know, when he talks about it, which he hasn't in a while, but I see somebody say something in the comment, you know, on this platform, he doesn't talk, he talks basketball. He's funny, he's cool. So for me, you know, the Knicks need the AllBall TV model. They scared, but I'm not. Listen, hire the right guy for the job. To me, Mark Jackson is the right guy for the job. Of course, we don't talk about it because, like y'all said, we all say in our mind that shit won't even happen, so why discuss it? But no, we gonna discuss it. Hire the right man for the job. And this is why the Knicks haven't won anything in forever, because we always have a problem hiring the right people for the job. Even if it's getting a player, getting the right player for the job. Hire the right coach. He checks off everything to be a Knicks head coach. I don't know what more they want. So it's mind-boggling, it's weird, but you know, if we're going to continue to have these problems and be afraid to make these decisions, how are we ever going to win a championship?
I don't.
You got.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you got to have a good track record too. Like you got to be an organization. Like y'all don't think real quick. Y'all don't think that some of the teams around the league right now. Okay, let's say the 5 teams that we reached out to. Like not one of them allowed us to rap. Like it almost feels like they like trying to, I don't know if it's reverse blackball us or like try to make a point that, oh, we don't like the way you did Tibbs, so now, you know, figure it out on your own type of shit. Like I don't know why we are in this position right now and nobody is taking any conversations with us. That doesn't make any sense to me.
But but just real quick, Fleet, for me, remember, I used to always say, like, it was conspiracy theory to keep the Knicks terrible. I used to always tell y'all that. Everybody used to laugh at me, right?
Yeah.
But in this situation, the coaches that denied us access, pause, or denied us to talk to them, I kind of understand. If I'm Houston, right? So it like I get what you're saying, but I somewhat disagree, because if I'm Houston, hell no, you can't talk to Udoka. He's a great fucking head coach. If I'm Dallas, no, you can't talk to Jason Kidd, right? If I'm Miami, if I'm any of these other teams, hell no. Now the Atlanta thing, I don't even think that's real. I doubt we tried to holler at them niggas. I didn't miss me with that. But for me,
Finch, we called Chris Finch. We called Minnesota to get a conversation.
Yeah. But just for I'll let Fabian go. I'm not surprised that a lot of these teams denied us. But of course, because it's the Knicks, people are going to troll and joke and make it seem like But come on, bro. Like I said, at the end of the day, there's guys out there. There's 2, 3 right guys out there. And for me, it's Mark Jackson, Bryant, and Sam Cassell. For me, those are my 3 top candidates. Guys that I think we can actually get. And like I said, if you could get those guys and the coaching staff, I told you I would want, if you could get Van Gundy, guys like Rondo, maybe Artest, maybe somebody else, but Rondo Artest be like the 5th assistant. I don't need him being the 2nd or the 3rd, but no, I would love him to be on the bench because these guys have championship pedigree. These guys are tough. Listen, Rondo and Ron Artest, listen, they ain't no fucking pushovers. So for me, any of those 3 guys I just named, if they can have the great coaching staff, I'm all in. I'm sorry. I'm all in. So for me, it doesn't, whether it's a young coach or a vet coach, I'm sorry, I know I took a little more time than expected. If it's whether a young coach or a vet coach, I think Van Gundy is the glue to all of that, no matter who the coach is, as far as on the coaching staff. I don't know if Van Gundy wants to be a head coach anymore, but I would love him on the coaching staff. And like I said, if you get Rondo in Meta World Peace, excuse me, not Rondo Artest, I apologize, Meta World Peace, and maybe another legit guy like a Mike Brown or something. Because let's be realistic, a lot of these guys ain't gonna be head coaches no more. Let's be realistic. Mike Brown is not gonna be another head coach no more.
But that's why Terry Stotts, Scott Brooks, all those guys sitting next to JJ Redick, right? Like we talked so much mess about JJ Redick, but JJ wasn't stupid. He said, "Let me go get Nate McMillan, let me go get Terry Stotts, and let me go get Scott Brooks." Right? So you're making Fabian's day right now. I just want to say this real quick. Go ahead, Ray. You're making Fabian's day right now talking about Jeff Van Gundy. OG.
No, because I want to go back to Mark Jackson because there's 2 things you said, but Jeff Van Gundy being on like the names you mentioned, I can imagine that. Like imagine that as your assistant coaches, Ron Artest, Rajon Rondo, Jeff Van Gundy, and even if it's Mark Jackson leading the way, you need an offensive, maybe Rondo's offensive guy there that can like. There's somebody else missing, but how the hell did you just create a head coaching cast? It's so simple. New Yorkers, like Rondo's, and I mean, there's a lot of personalities there because Rondo is not easy to get along with. He crashed with every single head coach that he's ever been with.
And I love it.
Right.
I love it.
Right, but it's tough to be a coaching staff like that. 2 things with the Mark Jackson thing. It'll be hard for him to deal with the backlash and all that. Being a New Yorker, the first thing one of my coworkers told me today was like they brought up all of like Jason Kidd's history. Like
what did I tell you the other day? Walking from lunch.
Like the fans were calling the radio like, "Yo, this DV case in Phoenix and this that." I'm just like, yo, imagine if Mark Jackson did that. They're gonna like this is what we do in New York. We're the melting pot but I think Mark Jackson can handle that if he is one of those guys. And Stephen A. Smith, I got to push back on you, Flea. Stephen A. Smith didn't say to hire Mark Jackson. All he's asking about is, how come y'all don't call him? And this is why he gets paid the way that he does. Because this is the 2nd day in a row that he did that. And this time he doubled down. He made sure, let me get a headline. Yo, he was on his way to being Popovich or Phil Jackson. That makes everybody feel something. That's what he's great at. Making you read what he said, whether you hear what he said and going, man, shut the fuck up, Stephen A. Smith. And all of a sudden, it goes viral. Now, that puts pressure on his damn co-worker, Bob Myers. How come you ain't answering that question? I want to know, and so do the people. Maybe Stephen A. did ask him, and he's tired of asking him. And he's going, yo, you need to step up front, bro, because this is the job that I get paid for. I get all the bullets in the world. Everybody got hate for Stephen A. Smith. Bob Myers, you take the safe route. So be careful. Remember, that's a game. We see what happened allegedly with Shaq and Matt Barnes and all of them, and Shannon Sharp and all of them. That's a dangerous game to be a commentator on ESPN and TNT, apparently. Very dangerous. So sometimes maybe Bob Myers be stepping out of line. And Stephen A. goes, yo, this ain't no easy seat to be sitting in, bro. And you got a lot of information that you're not giving up. And I'm kind of sick of that. You playing that safe role and you try to throw jokes across that table. Well, I'm going to send some shots back. I'm going to put your ass on a hot seat. What happened to Mark Jackson? And you get that stuff rumbling, all of a sudden the camera will pan. Hey, Bob, didn't you work for the Warriors and build the dynasty over there?
Everything that you laying out right now, Fabian, is gold. And I would love for that to play out in some fashion. right? It may not play out the way we speculating, but in some way, I would love that to play out. How Stephen A is the advocate for everybody that they bring on. Everybody that's come on ESPN, whether that's First Take or whatever, it's always supposed to be he's the guy, executive producer. So thank me for having Ryan Clark and Udonis and the Morris twins and this and Jay Will and that. So thank me. So we thanking you for having Bob Myers around. And if we are, have him answer the tough question. Because New Yorkers would love to have Mark Jackson. Bob Myers could clear all that shit up for a lot of curiosity for everybody. Yo, what's up? Well, I made a tough decision. This is why. And he could stand, even if he did talk about it, he could stand on it and say, and I got 4 championships and I picked the right guy for Golden State. He could stand on it if he wanted to. But answer the tough part of the question. Why did you have to make that fire? And don't talk to me about basketball, because we understand. Kerr's an innovative head, offensive mind. The offense changed when Steve Kerr got there. We know that. Don't talk to me about basketball. Why did you have to fire that dude? Because it ain't basketball related.
But hold on, and state it just real quick. That's a name I brought up a while ago. And if I'm not mistaken, Fabian was saying Steve Kerr has 1 year on his contract. Let's be realistic. I could say something that's so crazy that it won't even make sense. Let me explain something to y'all.
Here we go.
Let me explain something to y'all. See, guys don't know how. Guys don't. If you want to be legendary,
Let's go.
Steve Kerr and Steph Curry come over to New York next season.
Oh shit!
Listen,
I thought you was going somewhere else.
No. But in all seriousness, remember I told y'all my dream coach is Steve Kerr. Mm-hmm. Golden State is a wrap. We have to be honest about this. Golden State is a wrap. Wherever Steph Curry finishes his career out, great career. But Steve Kerr, it seems like he's the missing piece of those ready-made teams. So for me, that's why I say, Fleet, I'm panicking, but not as much because it's still early. There's going to be some great options in the future and in the very near future. So I honestly think we are taking our time. I think Brian is the right guy, but I think the way the floodgates open is like you got to weigh your options. Because, Fleet, you and Fabian are correct. You have to get this right. You have to get this right. You cannot sign somebody and then you fire them next season.
No, can't fuck this up.
So I think, a lot of things sound crazy. But listen, man, Steve Kerr contract is up, and I think he has a great relationship with them. He's done his job. I think he can get out of that last year. Hey, man. So listen, between him, Mark, and then you got the younger guys that's out there, I think there's some great options, but let's see what happens.
Go ahead, Fabian.
No,
I ain't gonna cut you.
You're already too late. I already see.
No, I just wanted to say
emotion.
that. And for me, with what OG is saying with Kerr, or even a guy like Spo, like I know they've had different iterations of Miami and different iterations of Golden State, so they've had to coach different styles. But I would like to see a Steve Kerr somewhere else, just to kind of solidify, right? Phil Jackson was solidified, six rings, right? Did all of that in Chicago, but I'm sure there was people out there like you had Mike, you had Scotty. Let me see you. How do you get busy somewhere else? All right, I'm gonna go over here to LA. I'm gonna go get 5 more, right? So I would like to see Kerr in a different spot with a different set of players, different type of roster. What if he's a legendary coach, what do you look like with putting it together with something else? That would be interesting for me to solidify him as a great coach.
Before I forget, I want you to. Who is your dream coach after I'm done? And because AllBall already said his. Okay. Steve Kerr. 2 things. The reason why they're all turning down them jobs, they're denying the Knicks. I'm saying this now. Conspiracy fitted. Aluminum fitted in the building.
Yes, sir.
They're turning they're denying the Knicks the chance to talk to the coach because they saw what happened with Dallas and Jalen Brunson, they want the collusion, the tampering charge. They want a tampering charge on the Knicks. Knicks got all the money in the world. They're all jealous of the Knicks. The Knicks hate is real, especially when they're winning and they got this much power. It is real. So what do I do about Minnesota, Atlanta, Dallas? Now you can't talk to my man. And if you talk to him and if you offer him a job, if he somehow gets a job with you, we didn't give you permission. So how did that happen? They're going to get a draft pick or something like that. So they're guaranteed more than one draft pick if they do that. That's number one. Number two, as you're talking, Steve Kerr is a wonderful candidate. He's top of the list. And the way that Leon Rose can pitch that is so easy. He could fuck Steve Kerr's mind up. If he's a real Jersey dude, New Yorker, he could fuck Steve Kerr's mind up. Yo, Steve, I know you last time we offered you the job, I wasn't here. We weren't in the same position. But the guy who was running the team at that time, he offered you a job. He's your mentor. He won a championship here as a player. Wouldn't it mean a little something more if you get to win with the team that he couldn't win with as a head coach and as a front office guy? He needs to start talking to Steve Kerr before he even asks for permission. There's no way they don't have ties. You need to fuck with these players on a competitive level. You cannot speak to them about this is New York, this, that, and the third. That shit is out the window because they really, to Flea's point, they don't care about that. They want to know, yo, you about to topple. You really want to step into the Pop Phil Jackson legacy? You had Steph, one of the great players of your generation. Come to New York, man. Jalen Brunson's that next dude. Do what Phil Jackson couldn't do. Help me do what Phil Jackson couldn't do. That's how you approach Steve Kerr, in my opinion. And you got to bring him over. Real quick, Flea. Oh, boy, so your dream coach is Steve Kerr, not Spo?
Yeah, remember, mine was always Steve Kerr. Spo probably is second, but yeah, I'm sticking with Steve Kerr.
Flea, who's your dream coach before we get out of here right now?
Dream for me would be Udoka, for sure.
Really?
Yeah. If I could have somebody walk through the door right now, and I know he got a job, but if he could walk through the door right now and was available for us, it would absolutely be Udoka, for sure. For me.
I'm wondering if dream coach is Steve Kerr is tough. I really want Ty Lue here, and Flea could guess why.
Okay. I like that. I'm not mad at that.
But you know why.
I'm not mad at that.
You don't know why?
Because that brings Jeff over here. So that doesn't.
Yeah,
I know.
But I know we're gonna run it a bit, but you know what though? I'm not a super duper fan of Ty Lue like everybody else is, but I can see Ty Lue coaching the Knicks. I think how he is perfect for the Knicks head coaching job. I think he might be Mark Jackson 2.0, just young and cooler, maybe, I guess. I don't know. But I think that is a name. That's why I say, Flea, there's some guys that's a perfect fit for this team. Like, I think Ty Lue is a perfect fit. Like, literally, I honestly do.
I would love Ty. I don't know what's keeping Ty in as a Clipper. A Clipper? Yeah, of course.
Listen,
of course. Wait, I mean, of course. Wait,
that's the richest owner. That's right, the richest in sports, Ballmer, I think.
Yeah, Ballmer's gonna take care of his son no matter
right.
what. No matter what.
And Flea, remember, I could be wrong. No pressure. You gotta remember, man, this Knicks shit, man. Listen, man. Now that we good, the pressure is insane. You can stay over there with the Clippers, and as long as the Lakers is the Lakers, you could get away with, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't got to worry about nothing.
A fact.
So
that's a fact. There's a bunch of I used to built-in excuses. Kawhi Leonard's injured, James Harden's a playoff, or bum. There's a bunch of built-in excuses for him for not winning since LeBron. You're right. He's in a really good spot. Really good spot.
But that is. I think maybe we can leave off on this. That is what what may be the challenge for us trying to find a coach, because we got to find that guy who either A, is ready for a new challenge, like we're talking Ty Lue, we're talking Steve Kerr, we just throwing names out. Who is that guy that's ready for a new challenge, or who is that young, innovative mind that we bring in here and we go from 60 to 120 in no time, right? It's one of those. I don't think it's anything else in the middle.
Yeah, I take that back. You're right. Who said this? It says, since we're dreaming, I'd rather take Spoelstra and get the Pat Riley revenge. Yeah, that's a million percent. A million percent. What Riley did to us was vicious.
I hope son who made that think piece on us out in Miami heard that. I hope you heard that. Whatever your name is.
He's in the comments.
Oh, is he?
Oh,
yeah.
Big shout out.
Big shout out.
Listen, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a fan. He wants to come up here. He really wants to come up here. That's what it is. He want to come up here and rap with us. That's what it is. But he's trying to find a way to weasel his at. We love everybody.
What Jay said? Y'all get half a ball.
But just real quick before we get out of here, I always say this. How do guys want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be? Do you want to be remembered as one of the greatest to ever do it? Who's ready to take that challenge? And that's the thing I don't get about people either being scared to play for the Knicks or coaches being afraid to coach for the Knicks. Like I said, it's two sides of a coin. Yeah, you're going to get cursed out. You know, we're going to turn on you. It's going to be insane. But if you win,
upped it.
You could probably eat at Smith and Walensky's for the rest of your life for free.
Free. You ain't buying a meal nowhere.
Come on, man.
Hold on, boy. Where we going?
They don't know nothing about that.
Sucker.
No. Hold on. Now watch this. Hold on. Give me. Y'all want to hear a funny story for 30? Y'all want to hear a funny story for 30 seconds?
Yep.
So my uncle, right, my pop's brother, he's a big steak guy. He knows about all the big steak houses. He always had the good job working construction, so he can afford all that shit, right? So he loves steaks. So I know y'all heard of Restaurant Week, right? So this is years ago. So my pops, he don't know nothing about that. Like my pops is in his own world. So me being who I am, I always try to get the family together. I'm like, yo, Dad, let's go to Restaurant Week. Of course, you paid for it, nigga, right? So he said, what is that? I said, yo, the top restaurants, they have a prefix menu. $50, $60, you get your, you know what I mean? So it's me, my pops, my uncle, my cousin, my daughter. I think it was just us, right? My uncle goes, let's do Smith and Walensky. Now, I'd never heard of it. This is one of the top steak joints in New York. We go, we make the reservation. We go in there, we sit down, right? But we sit down, look, y'all, we looking at the menu. Shit ain't got no price on it. Look. You know me. Excuse me, sir. Do y'all do Restaurant Week? You know what they hit me with? We'll participate in that. I said, oh, shit. Right? Look. That's how big time they are. They don't participate in that. So now we don't want to be embarrassed. We looking on the menu to see some shit we could get. Yo, we got up like a marching band. That shit was so embarrassing. My pop looked at me and said, nigga, we ain't eating in this shit. We got up one by one. Look, I said, Lord, have mercy. But that's how big time Smith and Walensky is. They don't even participate in Restaurant Week. Big time shit. Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever heard their name. And I kind of pride myself on, you know, knowing the steakhouse out there. I never heard that shit.
Legendary. Yeah, great spot. But eventually I went with my uncle, not me, but oh man, steaks is.
You had to spin. Okay, you spun back. You had to spin. Okay.
Oh yeah. But that night, nah. We out of here.
Yeah.
I know what this is.
Knicks Rehab.
Rehab, y'all.
Mañana we be back. Great Steakhouse, 3rd Ave and 54th. What's that? Wolfgangs? Which one you talking about? There's a lot. Everyone loves Delmonico's, Del Frisco's, I think it is. Because Peter Luger's, I think I ate there once, but everybody's always like,
It's a little overrated now.
Right.
Exactly. I heard they burgers is real good. I never had the burger.
They just got
probably one of the best you ever had. Yeah.
It's the dopest place, like restaurant to see, because you're on the Williamsburg Bridge and it looks dope on the side of the bridge. I can't.
It's legendary.
New York.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Right at this point, yeah.
You know what else is overrated? Maestros.
The one out here, OG, I ain't gonna know. The Mastros out here is like.
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all talking to a person that eat. Listen, these places for them prices, I'm calling it what it is. Them shits is regular weed, bro.
Regular weed.
Yeah, straight up. Ricardo's legendary.
Yeah. That's because that's legendary though.
That's too much for me though.
I thought you were gonna plead the fifth because I've heard mixed
lot go on in Ricardo's.
No. They food is good. They food is good. It's just for me, the ambiance is too much going on for me. I'm not, like I said, I'm the type, bro. I like to be dolo, quiet. Like but it's legendary. I ain't gonna lie. They food is good though. They food is good. But a lot of these places where the bill be $300-400, I'm just saying for me, whether I got it or not, I'm saying it be now Delancey Street legendary.
OG, let's go to Dirty Kitchen, man. Let's just go to the Dirty Kitchen, man, and eat good, man.
Hold on. No. We can get out of here after this. Do you remember the Dirty Kitchen on the Hunt? See, you ain't from Harlem, but you've been around.
Yeah, I've been around. So
do you know the Dirty Kitchen on 115th Street, 7th Avenue?
I don't.
The Dirty Kitchen was so nasty that when I was in there one time having breakfast, the people came and shut it down while we were sitting in there.
The people came. They say it was over.
The health inspectors. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, I believe it.
Fabian, we are eating in the Dirty Kitchen. You get a full meal for $4. Old niggas in there eating liver and grits 6 in the morning. Fabian, I'm in there eating. The health inspector. That's the first time I seen a health inspector. Came in there. We had to take our food and walk out. And they was in there and shut the gates down. Everything I love. I said I will never eat that shit again.
That's wild.
Oh, before we go, JR had to run. Thank you for your $9.99. Just tuning in. I'm gonna have to run back once y'all done. Shout out to y'all. Ain't gonna lie, I get depressed every time I see a denied coach interview request. That's what we here for, baby. Fabian's a Spark Steakhouse type guy. Yo, chill out, man. Yo, that's crazy talk. Hold on.
Fish, wow. You know,
that's your
say some bug out shit.
Fish, what up, Fish?
Fish.
So 50 Cent ain't gonna do me like Sammy did, Gotti. Yo, appreciate y'all. Tomorrow we aiming for 7 o'clock, but sometime, man, come on, man. I might be doing overtime. Might be 8 o'clock, y'all. You're gonna see the notification. Appreciate y'all hitting the notifications, hitting the bell. Thank y'all for watching the replay. Also, y'all be showing a lot of love. And hit the link in the chat, the pinned comment in the chat. Shop AllBall TV. Support if you can. Buy something if you can, or just share it if you can. See y'all mañana. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.